Hello and welcome to the next video tutorial on C programming for beginners. And in the last video I have shown you what is a function and how we can call function from our main function, right? And how we can declare a simple function like this. Now in this video I am going to show you how to declare and use a function which takes parameters or arguments. Suppose we want to make a function which adds two values, prints the sum, okay? So what we are going to do is here we will declare function which returns nothing. So you can write void and then the name of the function. You can name it as sum or add, whatever you find appropriate for your program. I will just name it as sum. And now because we want to pass two numbers which we can sum, we will pass them as arguments. The function, so how to pass an argument in these two brackets. These two brackets will give int the type of argument first and then we will give the name of the arguments. So for example a, and in a similar way we can pass another or second argument, that is int b. And you can pass any number of arguments in the function, for example int c, int d, int e and so on. But right now we just want two numbers to be added, so we will pass only two arguments and then we will just give two curly braces here, this one and this one. And now what we want to do from this function, you want to add these two functions and pass it into another variable. For example, we will name it as sum, which will hold sum of our two arguments, which is a and b. So we will just do a plus b. And now we want to print the sum, so we will write printf and inside this we will just write sum is equal to %d comma sum. And now whenever you want to add these two numbers, you can just call the sum function. You always have to call your function inside your main function, so just call it. Now for example you want to add two numbers, for example you want to add 50 and 60. So we'll just write 50 comma 60 because this sum function takes two arguments, one is a and one is b. So you can pass 50 as a and 60 as b, right? So what will this do is sum function will replace a by 50 and b by 60, and then in here this a plus b will be 50 plus 60. It will transfer the sum to some variable and then the sum will be printed over here. So let's try to run the program first, and it prints 110, which is true. In a similar way you can call this function multiple times. For example, you want to get the sum multiple times, let's give /n here to change the line. And this time you want to add, let's say 100 or 1000 plus 500, and in here you want to add 111 and 222, and in here we want to add 1, 2, 3 and 4, 5, 6. For example, we want to print sum of all these, this and these numbers, the program, and it will give you the sum as 110, 1500, which is the sum of these two numbers, 333, which is the sum of all these two numbers, and 579, which is sum of these two numbers, right? Let me just change the // because it will just change the line like this, and run the program once again. And now it will change the line 110, 150, and now it will change the line 110, 1500, 333 and 579, which is the addition of first sum, second sum, third sum and the fourth sum. Now for example, you want that user should define these two values at runtime. What we can do is we can declare two numbers x, y, which are two integers. Then we will ask the user to give these two numbers. So in printf, and we will be writing please enter two numbers and then /n. We add /n to change the line, and then we will just say that printf number 1 and change line once again, and then we will use scanf, which we use to take inputs, right? So we'll write scanf and then in the bracket %d and then comma and then the symbol to take the integer, the AND symbol, and then the value of x, which will be our first number, and then same way we will pass the second number, which is y. So printf number, and it gives space so we can see it better, and the second time we will pass or scan y. So x is this one and y is this one. So we are scanning two numbers, and now we will pass these x and y, sum as a first argument and second argument for this from function. And when we run the program, you run the program first, and now the program asks for two numbers. So it says please enter the two numbers. Number 1, so you can give number 1, for example 6458. This is the number 1, and now it says number 2. So we'll give second number as 1025 for example, and when you press enter we will see sum is equal to 7483, which is the sum of the above two numbers that the user just added. So in this way we can ask the user to give two numbers, and we can make the sum of these two numbers and get it printed on the screen, right? So these are called function with arguments, or arguments, one argument, two arguments. And in this way you can pass any number of arguments to a function, and you can call the function inside main program with those arguments. So I hope you have understood the basic concepts of function, arguments, or functions with parameters.